what really irritates me is that KayCee would never listen. And whenever I tried to talk to her about things that I really needed to get off my chest, she thought she knew what she was talking about. She thought she already heard it before. No. When I talked about child support, it was never about the child support. It was about how I was treated when I couldn't afford it. It was about how I was made to feel like a worthless piece of shit. And that my baby mama would be like, oh, you need to come see your kid, and she would make it easier for me to see my kid, as if she thinks that somehow making it easier to see my kid, which she couldn't do while I was working. No, she couldn't do that while I was working and had money. No, she couldn't do that. But she thinks that my baby mama thought that if she made it easier for me to see my kid and stuff, then all of a sudden I would just magically pay her child support with the money that I don't fucking have. No. And eventually I would pay the child support, and then bam, I wouldn't be able to see my kid anymore. She wouldn't be pushing for me to see temperance at all. She would just be, she got her money, so she didn't care. And I would work my ass off, to try and make it to where I could get my vehicle legal and good running, so I could go visit my kid. Because every time I got a ride from her mom, from my baby mama, I got stranded because I declined her. Like, she'd make advances and want me in her bed, and I declined her. You know what happened? The next day, a fight would break out. Fight over nothing, arguments over nothing, and I would have to leave because my daughter's crying. Because I'm not gonna fight in front of my kid. I won't do it. So I would just leave, and so I left. And I was hours from home, and it was Christmas morning. And I was stuck in the parking lot at McDonald's that wasn't even open because it was closed for Christmas. I've been stranded multiple times because of my baby mama, because she'd start fights over stupid shit that didn't matter, over dumb things. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of women starting arguments and fights over dumb things. And my best friend, my so-called best friend, starts fights and arguments over dumb things because she doesn't know what I'm going through. She thinks, oh, you have an attitude. My attitude is not just out of nowhere. I have been struggling almost my entire adult life because of child support, and I don't care. Like, I'm good. I'll make it. But for KayCee to tell me I don't take care of my kid, that's low. That's low as fuck. Because I've tried. I've tried, and I've tried, and I've tried. And I'm broken, and I'm down, and I'm bent out of shape. And I really needed my best friend to give a damn for a change. I've always listened to her problems and her issues. Whatever she had going on, I would listen and be attentive. And I would ask follow-up questions. I never just put my opinion out there and said, oh, I disagree with you. Here's my opinion. Bleh. No, KayCee, I never did that to you. But you do that to me all the fucking time. You didn't know what I was talking about. You wouldn't ask follow-up questions. You wouldn't try to understand. You would just assume that you knew what the fuck I was talking about, when you didn't even fucking know. And then get all uppity with me, and then raise your voice. And then if I tried to raise my voice, no, Case, I'm trying to tell you. You'd say, oh, I'm yelling at you in your own home. No. I was trying to get a point across that you needed to know that if something that I had on my chest that I needed to talk about. But you'd never listen. You never ever have really listened to any of my issues. You don't know me. You don't care to know me. But you had no problem letting me help you with all your fucking issues, all your fucking problems, and being there when it was convenient. But the moment that I have issues and I need a friend, you're nowhere there. Oh, Pat, you have attitudes. You're not no, you know what? I've been going through a lot of shit for a long time. And I've always stood by you. Even though you put me through hell time and time again, it didn't matter. You're my best friend. You're supposed to be my best friend, so it was fine. But the moment that I'm difficult, you bail. You make up excuses. You owe me a fucking apology. Big time. Yeah. You block me and stuff. You never listen. Because I've been there for you. I've listened to your issues with your baby daddies, your issue on child support. I've listened to your issues with your relationship. I've listened to your issues with your family. I've been there, and I've listened, and I've heard, and I've always asked follow-up questions. I never went and tried to say, oh, you know what? Well, you're just being this or that. I never just blatantly would make statements. I would always try and make sure I understood what you were talking about and that I knew what it was. And we would formulate an opinion together. That's what we normally did. We would talk about it. You'd ask me questions. I'd ask you questions. And eventually, we came to a conclusion. But when it comes to my issues, you can't listen to me. You can't ask me follow-up questions. You can't work with me and help and come up with a conclusion that makes sense. No, because I'm a man, right? And men or stupid, right? Is that what it is? And I'm still here. I'll still fucking help you if you'd stop being a dumbass. Even though I've got all my own issues going on, I've got an interview coming up. I'm constructing a new bathroom in my house. I've got my yard somewhat taken care of. I'm doing my laundry. I've been making car repairs. Hopefully my life will get back together, and I know it will. I've done it every time. Every time that you and me have quit hanging out, I've gone and got my life put back together, despite the fact that it has been extremely difficult every fucking time. And every time I go off and get my life put back together, you come around, you text me or call me and want me to come hang out or this or that, and I don't have time. And then eventually I make time. You know what happens? You know how I feel about you. You know how I feel about you. And then you don't take that into consideration with your actions. And you end up hurting me. You end up hurting my feelings big time because you know. You're not stupid. You know that I've been in love with you for a fucking long ass time. But yet, you'd make me an emotional wreck because you made stupid decisions and dated stupid people. That's point blank. You made stupid decisions and dated stupid people. And my dumb ass stood by you because I fucking love you. And KayCee, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry. You've been acting like a fucking idiot all these years. But you've been growing. You've been learning from all your adventures and your mishaps. And I've been there trying to make sure that you were just okay and safe and doing well as best I could. Knowing that, I'm not ever going to get to be with you. I'm never going to get to marry the girl that I'm fucking in love with, which is KayCee's fucking ass. I'm never going to get that. I'm probably never going to see her again. But I always tried to at least be your friend because the friendship was what we had first, and that's what mattered. That was the foundation. So I don't like people for just any old reason. I don't normally fall in love with anybody just easily either. I don't fall for chicks very easily at all. But I got to know you. I've seen all the things you've gone through, and I've seen how happy you can be, and I've seen that smile of yours, and when you're talking and you're using your hands to hand gestures, and you got your eyes, you tell a good story. And I've always liked hearing about how your day went, and I'm probably never going to hear from you again, but I'll be fine. I'll be all right without you, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to be because I have stuff to do with my life. And we could have been hanging out, having a good time, enjoying life, and making it work, going to work, both of us holding down jobs. We'd have money, we'd have cars would be taken care of, car repairs would be taken care of, insurance, everything would have worked out fine. We could have teamed up, and even if we weren't dating, we could have teamed up and just helped one another get on our feet and be stable, and then gone our separate ways if we needed to. I needed your help, KayCee. I really needed your fucking help. My grandmother passed away, and that's who I normally would talk to about my issues. And so you were the last one. You were the last person that I could go to that knew me, that I thought would know me or listen at least. But no. You didn't listen. And I thought we were there for one another. That's why when I inherited that money, I was worried about you. That was the only thing that mattered. Were you okay? Were you going to be okay? So everything else didn't matter. I didn't care about the consequences of my actions, how much money I spent, or if I ran. I didn't care. As long as you were okay. Because I thought that we made sure that one another were okay, no matter what. No matter how mad we got, no matter how much stupid fights we got in, that we were solid. That we kept it real. That no matter what the fuck happened, push came to shove, we'd help one another out when we can. And you made me feel bad for accepting your help. You'd help me this or that, and then you'd make me feel bad for it. As if I was, it was fucking stupid. And if you had worked with me, like I had asked you so many times, KayCee, I've asked you so many times what your plan was, what you wanted to try and do, what was the goal, what was it you wanted to accomplish to get yourself so you could go and ride the rodeo and do the things you wanted to do. I would have helped you along the way, every step of the way. But in turn, I needed your help with a few things. And we really could have just done fine. I mean, shit, I've had 4 different jobs since the summer of 2023. And I didn't keep those jobs because I was an emotional wreck. I was an emotional wreck over your shit, KayCee. I was an emotional wreck with this shit with my kid and my other kid and my 2 baby mamas and then my family and then my grandmother passing away, my Uncle Jeff passing away, and my friends passing away and another relative passed away. I was under a lot. And then my dad was depressed and we weren't on good terms. And I got a fight with my dad. Like, I was under a lot of stress. And I just needed to just hang out with you and just call it good for a day. And because when I hang out with you, it's like everything would just go away and I'd be fine for a moment. And we'd go on our little adventures, go frolicking or do whatever it was we were going to go do. And for a moment, everything just felt okay. And being around you, it felt like home. And I haven't had a place that has felt like home in years. But wherever you're at, it always felt like home. So yeah, I was comfortable. And I needed that. But then you decided you were going to put these boundaries up without telling anybody. It made me feel like shit. And so I had my guard up all the time because I couldn't let my guard down. If I let my guard down around you, then you would say something that would hurt my feelings and just... So then... You made the only place that felt like home. You made it feel like I couldn't even be myself there either. So I had nowhere that felt like home anymore. And I tried to be in good spirits. I tried to stay happy. And I know you went through all your own shit. And I was there for a lot of it. I never tried to take away from any of it. But you weren't there for a lot of my shit. And I didn't want you to be there for a lot of my problems, my issues, and the fights I've been in, and the arguments, and all that bullshit that I've had going on in my life. I have a second kid. Like, there's a whole story about that you don't really know anything about. I didn't want to burden you. I've never wanted to burden you, KayCee. I've always wanted to just keep my stuff to myself and be strong and just hang out and have a good time as best we could. But I've been weighed down. And then I thought I almost lost you. And then it turns out I lost you anyways, because I don't guess we are friends anymore, so. Yes, but I'm pissed the fuck off at you, by the way. So if you read that Facebook post or someone sends you a screenshot of it, yeah, fuck you. You owe me a fucking apology. Big the fuck time. So get off your high horse and stop being your stupid self and just fucking understand that, it doesn't matter. All the hurtful things I've said, I was hurting, I was upset, yeah, and it's fine. You've said hurtful things, I've said hurtful things. Let's get the fuck over it. We can do that. I know I can, and maybe you can, but I don't know. You're still gay, by the way, KayCee. Still really super gay. Yep. And I miss you.